Hi everyone, and welcome to this video on working out the angle of a triangle using the cosine rule. So in our previous video, we've already looked at how we can derive the angle formula from this complicated cosine rule, okay? And we looked at the angle formula which we derived, which was this formula here. And now we're going to use this formula to answer questions that you could possibly be given in an exam, okay? So first of all, our angle formula is going to be a squared minus b squared minus c squared over minus 2bc, and that's equal to cos A. Okay, now with any trigonometry question, sine rule or cosine rule, you need to label your sides and corners first. Okay, and remember, the only difference with the cosine rule is that the angle that you don't know or the side that you don't know has to be labeled as A. Okay, so in this case, we can see our x is here. So that means this corner has to be labeled as capital A. That means the side opposite it must be lowercase a. Okay, and then the other two corners, it doesn't really matter. So we'll just label this B, and then the side opposite it will be lowercase b. We'll label this capital C, and then the side opposite it will be lowercase c. Okay, now we've got this formula that we're going to be using here in order to work out cos A. Okay, so we can just substitute in our values. So first of all, lowercase a is 20. So we've got 20 squared. Lowercase b is 15. So we've got 15 squared. Lowercase c is 16. So we've got 16 squared. And that's all divided by -2. And then we've got b, which is 15. And then we've got c, which is 16. And that's going to be equal to cos A. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing now is I'm just going to type in this into my calculator so we can get a value for cos A. Okay, so we've got 20 squared minus 15 squared minus 16 squared over minus 2, 15, 16. Okay, and that's going to give us an answer of 0.16875, and that's equal to cos A. Okay, so we don't want cos A. Remember, we ultimately just want to work out our angle, which is A. Okay, and we just want the A part of this side of the equation. Okay, we want to get rid of this cos. Okay, how are we going to get rid of that cos? Well, we have to do the opposite of it. To get rid of it from one side, you have to do the opposite of it. And the opposite of cos is going to be inverse cos. Okay, and you're going to inverse cos the other side of the equation. Okay, so you're going to have cos minus 1, 0.16875. And by doing that, you've got rid of this cos because you've done the opposite. And now you're left with just A, which is what we want. So this is now what you're going to be typing into your calculator. So we've got shift cos, that gives you cos negative 1, 0.16875, close your brackets, and that's going to give you an answer of 80.28485063. Okay, and the question does say that it wants the answer to 3 significant figures. So we're going to count the significant figures: 1, 2, 3, cut it off there. 8 rounds up, so we're going to increase the 2 by 1. So we're going to have our answer of 80.3 degrees. Okay, and in an exam, this question would be worth around 3 marks. Okay, so just to reiterate what we've done, we've derived this angle formula from the cosine rule formula, which we're given on the formula sheet. And then we've labeled our sides and corners, and we've made sure that our A is on the corner which we don't know, or the side we don't know. And then we've substituted in our values on this stage, and then we've got a value for cos A, and then we've inverse cosed our answer to get our value for A, which is the angle that we are trying to find out. And then finally, we've rounded our answer to 3 significant figures. Okay, I have another example which we're going to go through. So it's really similar. However, this time we have to draw our angle on ourselves. So we've got angle BAC. So we have to go from B to A to C. Okay, just by drawing that, we can see that our angle is this angle over here, and that's going to be our angle X. Okay, so step 1 is going to be the formula, and you can derive the formula in an exam because you're given this cosine rule on the formula sheet. So we're going to have a squared minus b squared minus c squared over negative 2bc, and that's going to be equal to cos A. Okay, step 2 is going to be label the triangle. Okay, and remember the A, the capital A or lowercase a, has to be on the side or the corner that you don't know. So in this case, we don't know X, so we've labeled our corner capital A. Okay, side opposite A is going to be lowercase a, and then the others, it doesn't really matter. So we've got B there, so we'll keep it as B. Side opposite A is going to be lowercase b. We've got capital C here, so the side opposite A is going to be lowercase c. So we've labeled our triangle. Now step 3 is going to be substitute. Okay, so we've got a squared. We know a is 6.9, so we've got 6.9 squared minus b squared, which is 7.3, minus c squared, which is 5.2, and that's being divided by negative 2. We've got b, which is 7.3, and then we've got c, which is 5.2, and that's going to be equal to cos A. Okay, so we can just type in this into our calculator to get a value for cos A. So we've got 6.9 squared, subtract 7.3 squared, subtract 5.2 squared, all over negative 2, 7.3, and 5.2. And that's going to give you an answer of 0.4309799789. In exact form, that is 409 over 949. Okay, I'm just going to keep the exact form because it's a really long decimal. Okay, and that's equal to cos A. So we know what cos A is. We know that cos A equals 409 over 949. We don't want cos A, we want just A. Okay, because A is angle X that we're trying to work out. Okay, so to get rid of this cos, what we are going to do is inverse cos. We're going to do the opposite of it to get rid of it. So that's going to give us A by itself. It's going to get rid of this cos, and that's going to be equal to cos negative 1 of 409 over 949. And this is what you're going to type into your calculator. So shift cos to get cos negative 1 of your answer, and that's going to give you an answer of 64.470238185, and it does say to 3 significant figures. So we're going to count 1, 2, 3, cut it off there. 7 rounds up, so we're going to increase 4 by 1. So it's going to be 64.5 degrees. And again, a question like this would be worth around 3 marks in an exam. Okay, so just to highlight the steps I've done once again: derive your formula. We derived our formula. This is our angle formula. After that, we've labeled the triangle, and then we've substituted in our values into the formula that we generated. Once we've done that, we obtained a value for cos A, but we didn't want cos A, we want just A. So in order to find out what A is, we did the opposite of cos, which is inverse cos, our answer that we originally had, and then we rounded our answer to 3 significant figures, just like the question asked. Okay, and that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked it, and one last thing, please subscribe and hit the like button.